the street is divided right down the middle. It'll still be even after your answer, but I'm still trying to understand. With all this conversation around cheaper tests available, not just from unreputed brands, but from reputed brands as well, does it kind of dent margin possibilities or revenue possibilities going ahead? Or do you reckon this will remain a traditional brick and mortar led industry for the years to come? What's your sense?
I don't think it's a this or that. I mean, I think markets evolve, industries evolve. But I think the fundamental thing to understand is that the question is, who are you asking about reputed brands, right? If you go and ask doctors, are these reputed brands? The doctors will say no, because they may be reputed in another industry, but they're not reputed in diagnostics, right? So even the top hospital players, when they enter diagnostics, it doesn't mean that doctors automatically start referring because they trust the hospitals for treatment. They trust pathology experts for diagnostics. They trust eye experts for eye care. They trust dental experts for dentistry. These are all subspecialties in healthcare, and the doctors understand the differences. It is the consumer who assumes that, oh, if somebody is very good at making XYZ product, that brand translates to diagnostics, and that must be a well known established brand. But the consumer, the only market and the segment that the consumer is making a decision on is actually the wellness segment, where the consumer decides to get a package done and they decide where to get it done. But if you look on the illness segment, when somebody falls sick, they go to a doctor, and the doctor usually recommends where to get the test done, especially if it's an important test, which is going to determine the course of their treatment and their surgery. The patient is not the one, the consumer is not the one taking the decisions at that point. So consumer behavior and decision making is very different in the wellness segment and very different in the illness segment. So to your question, I think some of the new competitors can make a mark in the wellness segment, which also they are trying to make a mark in very low price segment, which frankly is economically not viable. But they may do it for their own reasons. But for them to translate that to trust and credibility in the illness segment is a completely different hypothesis. And I don't think we should confuse them.
And I'm guessing from your answer, my just a final follow-up, that growth in the illness segment, considering that organized is still just about 15-16%, so growth in the illness segment plus market share gains alone, even if that were to play out, leaves you enough headroom for growth for the foreseeable future.
Absolutely. I mean, our strategy is to continue to build in the illness side as we have been doing, but to do it even better and more aggressively than we've been doing in the past. But along with that, it also, COVID and the new health tech players have opened up the wellness segment for the industry. If you see our wellness, which was a 7% component about a year ago, has now become a 12% contribution of our entire mix. So wellness is a very fast growing, and it's grown at 98% for us year on year. So wellness is a very fast growing category. And this we expect will continue to grow in the years to come. So we now have not only the illness category, but the wellness and the chronic side. So we've actually got 3 segments to focus on, which is actually a great new opportunity for companies like Metropolis, which were not there.